Hi guys, and welcome back. It's Nora here with another puzzle. So this time I am doing a 1,000 piece puzzle by Ravensburger, and it is a Swiss mountain puzzle. This puzzle was actually a birthday present from my boyfriend, and so I had been really looking forward to doing this one, and I was excited to get started with it. My birthday's in September, so I had been waiting for a little while to do this. I started with a border as usual, and then I knew that this was going to be a little tricky because I remembered that the picture was mountains and then reflections of mountains, and so there was going to kind of be duplicated sections. I hadn't seen the picture really since I got this in September, but I did remember that. So that section that I'm working on there was actually kind of a shade of bluish green that was a little bit different than the other colors, and there was a lot of solid pieces, so I decided that would be the easiest place to start, and it was pretty easy to find those pieces and kind of go through and hook it up. And I could see the section of the border that had that color, and so I was able to connect it to the border right away, which really helped. And then I realized that that section of blue in the bottom right hand corner was actually a different shade of blue than the blue on the top. And so I went ahead and did most of that at the same time as well, because I could kind of recognize those shades of blue for that corner. After that, I decided to try and do the kind of the line where the mountains are against the sky, so pieces that had both mountain and sky in them. And that worked pretty well in that you can see I was able to kind of fit together a fair amount of pieces, but it was backfired a little bit because I couldn't really connect those together because I needed pieces that were either all mountain or all sky to do that. And so I decided to kind of move on a little bit after that point because I couldn't quite really build out from there on that strategy. So the next thing I did was try and work on the reflection because the area that's reflected has kind of a little bit of a different quality to it, and so I was actually able to kind of recognize that. So then once I finished most of that reflection, I decided to start on the sky because that section of sky there that I just did was a lot lighter blue, and so it was, again, easy to find those pieces. And then at that point, I figured, well, I've done this much of the sky, I should just do the whole sky. So I took all of the sky pieces I could find and started working on them. And once I got to about here, it started to get pretty difficult because now the color blue is pretty much the same color across the entire top of the puzzle. And so you don't know where along that line it's going. And so there was a lot of trial and error and a lot of looking at piece shapes and just trying everything as much as possible. So this was a little bit frustrating, but I also knew that this would be a big section of the puzzle, and that if I could get this done, it would be very helpful in fitting everything else in. And although it was slow going to get the sky, once I kind of started to get things connected, which is kind of happening right here. Yeah, there we go. I was able to kind of move forward, and that was pretty exciting and a great feeling to get the whole sky done like that. Then I decided to do the train because they're very distinctive colored pieces and they were easy to find and put together. And that was very kind of special to me because my boyfriend lived in Switzerland when we met, and he took me on this trip up into the Swiss Alps, and so this whole puzzle just made me think of him and that trip, but especially the train because we rode the trains just like that, and it was really special to me. And in fact, it made me think of that trip so much that I just posted a bunch of photos for on my Instagram, so you can check that out if you're interested. It's very, very beautiful. I recommend. We went to Grindelwald in Switzerland. Anyway, from there, I decided to do the green. That was a little bit hard because I didn't know kind of what shape the green was going to take. So I was a little blind there because there's some green right up there at the top and then some in the middle, and so I didn't know how they would connect. And so eventually I got them to connect, and from there it was actually pretty easy to do the middle of that mountain. And now what I have left is just the actual mountains themselves, and I knew that this was going to be the hardest part. I'd been kind of delaying doing it, and sure enough, it was very hard, and I pretty much just had a trial and error most of this entirely. And I apologize, I was using a new video editing software, and I didn't realize just how quickly those timestamps were going to go by, so it's kind of hard to follow, but it is 120 times time lapse, so every second is 2 minutes of time. And although there was some tough parts, I ended up finishing in less than 10 hours, so it was a really fun puzzle and I loved it, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you next time. Bye.